Welcome to another tutorial video from Ramtech 1000. This one today is going over the mobile security features that are available from Intel Security or McAfee for an Android device. So the idea is that if you have an Android device and you have a subscription for LiveSafe, Total Protection, Internet Security, or indeed Antivirus Plus, you will get the options to add mobiles to your subscription, which will give you the mobile security feature suite. Mobile security is also available as a standalone product as well, for which you would need this web page that we're going to now to access the features that are available. So what we'll do is we'll log in now, and then I'll be able to show you the features that we can get on an Android device and how each of them work. So you literally click on the login button at the top here. This page, by the way, is McAfeeMobileSecurity.com. Once you put that in, you can click on login. Pop in your email address that you used for your subscription and your password. Okay, you can also use your mobile number if you prefer. Press login, and that will take you to your McAfee mobile security page. Now, when you first log in, it takes you straight to the tracking page, so it brings up a nice big map for you so you can find your device if it has indeed been lost. But what we're going to do for demonstrations, we're going to click on the three lines up here. We're going to go to My Device, and that will bring up the full feature set that are available for that particular device. So all the features are listed down the left hand side here. So you've got lock, locate, alarm, capture cam, track sim, backup, wipe, factory reset, restore, and then you've also got some data options down there as well, which we'll go over in a bit. So the first one then is locate. It's already highlighted. So as you can see here, you get some options for locating your device. Again, if the device has been lost or stolen, or indeed you've just put it down somewhere and you're not sure where you've put it, this feature can come in very handy for finding out where your device is. Now the idea is that you click on the locate device button, the blue one there. That will send a message to the device, and once it's found it on the network, it will pop up on this map below showing you where it was when it was found. So you can change this to satellite. It's using Google Maps, so you can zoom in and find out exactly where the device is, whether you've indeed left it at home or whether it's somewhere else. The location accuracy, as it says down here, is determined by this blue circle. So the smaller the circle, the more accurate it is, but that's basically letting me know that my device should be within that blue circle somewhere. Now you'll also notice that there's a little watch icon on there as well. That's because I've got a smartwatch connected to this particular Android device. So it's letting me know that the device and the watch are together because that is highlighted. If it was greyed out like it says down here, it would mean that it was the last known location of the device before it was disconnected. Okay, so that's straightforward enough. Now you can also view a larger map as well. You can have that on a full screen, but this is very handy, like I say, if you do need to find your device. Now you've also got continuous tracking here, as it says. You can have that for 1 or 6 hours. Now what that will basically do is if it can't find it on the network straight away, you can select either 1 or 6 hours continuous tracking, and then as soon as it is found on the network, it will pop up on your map screen there. So you don't have to keep clicking locate device one after the other until you find it. It will do it for you for up to 1 or 6 hours. Okay, so the next thing that we've got down there is lock. Now personally, what I would do if my device had gone missing, I would lock the screen straight away to stop anybody from accessing my data if they do indeed get hold of my device and manage to get into it. So locking the device will basically mean that the screen and all the hard buttons on the device will be completely disabled and nobody will be able to access my information until I either unlock it from here or put in the PIN code. Okay, so straightforward enough. You get an option to put a message on the screen of the device. So as you can see here, I've got a pre-filled email message that is automatically done for you. When you're happy with the message that you've put in, you click save and then press the lock button there, and that will lock the device and display the message on the screen of the locked device. I'd always recommend having some kind of contact information on that message, because if somebody does find your device, they're going to need to know how to get it back to you. But you can put whatever you want into that message box. Okay, so once you've locked it, like I say, the screen and hard buttons will be disabled, and you can either remotely unlock it if you do, find it again and you happen to be in front of your computer screen, or you can put in the PIN code that you set up when you first set up mobile security on the device itself, but that is the only option that you can do on a locked screen. The other options that you've got there as well, okay, if we just click save there, is you can lock an alarm. So this is very handy again if you've put the device down somewhere at home and you're not sure where it is. You can send the default alarm tone to the device, or not send the default alarm tone, send an instruction to the device to play the default alarm tone or the default ringtone of the device, and then when you press lock and alarm, the screen will be locked down. So again, if you're in a shared house environment, for example, you can lock it and alarm it, and then the alarm will sound over the silent function on the device. So even if it is on silent, it will still sound the alarm at full volume. Now the idea of that is that, again, if you're in a situation where you are in a house with other people, you can lock it just in case somebody else picks it up and they can get access to your device. But the alarm is very handy, so that if, I don't know, it may have fallen down the back of the sofa or something, you'll be able to get your device back by hearing the alarm sounding. So as I said before, you can do the default alarm tone, okay, or you can do the default ringtone. Now if I do this, you should be able to hear my phone ring. As soon as it's found on the network, it will start sounding like so. And then all I need to do, like I say, once I've found my device, is pop in the PIN code, press unlock, and that returns it back to its normal state again. And then it comes up here saying that it's been unlocked. Okay, so obviously you've got another option there, which is Scream. Now, you may or may not have heard of the McAfee Scream before, but it is literally a scream. So rather than playing your default alarm tone or ringtone, it will play a screaming noise, which is a very unpleasant sound, to be honest with you, which will sound at full volume over the silent function on the device. So if it has fallen into the wrong hands, or if you just need something a little bit more audible to be able to find your device, you can access it with the Scream. Now, if I click lock and alarm this time, I'll have to sound it, and then I'll stop it before I talk again, because you probably won't be able to hear me, but we'll just demonstrate that one now for you. Okay, so I'm sure you'll agree that that would definitely attract attention to the device. Now that comes in very handy. Let's say like it has fallen into the wrong hands, somebody has indeed left the premises with your device. You can access the screen feature, you can make that horrible noise, and then hopefully the person that has it, once they realise that they can't stop it from making that noise, will drop your device, or indeed run away, and you'll hopefully get your device back by somebody else picking it up to find out why it's making that horrible noise, seeing your lock message on the screen and contacting you to return your device. Now again, that's why I say it's very important to have contact information in the lock screen message, because if somebody does indeed find your device, they're not going to want to keep hold of it for you if it's making that horrible screaming noise. So they'll be able to contact you, let you know that they've got your device. You can then remotely unlock it, which will stop the alarm, and then you can just lock it again without the alarm, so they're not put off by this horrible screaming noise, for example. Okay, so that's how the lock feature works. You can also activate these alarms without using the lock screen as well, which again is very handy if you've put the device down at home somewhere and you just need to find it, or if you want to scare somebody, for example, then you have their Android device on your subscription. You can also make their device scream, which can be quite amusing to say the least, but very handy, like I say, if you've popped it down somewhere and you're not sure where you've put it. You can play any one of the alarm tones without locking the screen as well. And then the idea is that when you find the device, you literally just press stop alarm on the screen, and it stops the alarm and returns it back to its home screen. So very straightforward. The next feature that I'm going to talk to you about is Capture Cam. Now this one is a very popular feature. I get a lot of good feedback on this one, and it seems to work very well. I mean, it's worked very well personally on devices that I've owned, and also when I've been testing and trialing the software as well, it seems to work extremely well. So how Capture Cam works, there's a couple of ways in which it works. When you first set up mobile security on your Android device, Capture Cam is automatically initiated. So it just sits in the background quietly running, but the idea is that if somebody tries to get into your device by putting in your PIN code or putting in your swipe password unlock thing, and they get it wrong a few times, Capture Cam will take a forward-facing picture of the person that has your device and email it to the owner along with a map and a location, so that you can go along to that location with your picture of the person and hopefully find who has your device and ask very nicely for it back. Or alternatively, you can give that information to the authorities. The other way that it works, because not everybody has a password on their device or a lock of any sort, which I would strongly recommend you do if you're one of these people, you can send messages to the device from this page here. So you've got 4 messages that you can choose from, just random messages. You can select whichever one you want, and then when you click send message, it will send that message to the device, and it will pop up on the screen as a pop-up. And the only way to get rid of the pop-up is to press OK. Now once you press OK, Capture Cam will activate, and it will take the forward-facing picture and email it to the owner along with the map and address. Now I understand that sometimes the device may be on a surface, for example, when the pop-up is cancelled, and the picture that you might get sent in your email will be of the ceiling of wherever the device is. Now obviously you'll have a map and a location, but you won't have the picture that you want. Now the good thing about Capture Cam is that you can send these messages as many times as it takes for you to get the picture that you want. So once you've sent one, it will come up and let you know that the Capture Cam has been initiated, and then if you get your email and it's not the picture you wanted, you can click on any of the other messages or send the same one again if you like, click send message, and keep on sending them until eventually you get the picture of the person that you wanted. Now there's nothing else the person that has the device can do with the device until they press OK on that message, because as I said, it comes up as a pop-up, so they will need to press OK to get rid of the message to continue using the device. So Capture Cam is very effective, and I've used it, like I say, I've trialed it before, and it's always worked very well for myself. I've had all sorts of emails coming in with some confused looks on people's faces, but like I say, it does work very well, and it is a very handy feature. Okay, the next one that we've got down here is Track SIM. Now this one here lets you know the SIM card that is in the device. Obviously I've got no SIM detected on this one at the moment because for the video demonstration purposes, but in this section here where it says no SIM detected, it will come up with the mobile number of the SIM card in question. So that should obviously say my SIM card number, and the idea is that if somebody else gets hold of my device and they take my SIM card out and they put their own SIM card in, it will come up on this screen with the mobile number of the SIM card that's been inserted. So if somebody has indeed stolen my mobile device, it will come up with their mobile number, and I'll be able to give them a call and ask for my device back, or again give that information to the authorities. So again, very handy feature. Following on from that, you've got options down here for backing up data. Okay, so in my personal opinion, the data on my device is far more important than the device itself. The device itself can be replaced, whereas a lot of the times data can't be. So as you can see here, you've got different types of data that you can back up. So you've got your contacts, your text messages, and your call logs. So your contacts is your full contact sheet. Your text messages is your inbound and outbound text messages, so you get your full conversations in there, and also your call logs as well, so your incoming and outgoing calls as well, and that will all be backed up to your McAfee account. Now also on the device itself, you can back up your media, so you can back up your photos and videos to your subscription as well, but you can't do that remotely, you can only do that on the device. Now how backup works is when you first set up mobile security on your Android device, you will do its initial backup, and you can also select the slider to do an auto backup every time you plug the device into charge. Now when you do the first backup, this can obviously take quite a bit of time depending on how much information you've got on the device, but the idea of the auto backup is whenever you plug the device in, i.e. at night, to charge the device, it will back up any new information since the last backup. So it's very, very handy. If you don't like to do manual backups and stuff, it can do all that for you, and then at least you know that every time you unplug your device, it's done its latest backup to McAfee, so if anything was to happen to your device, you would have your most recent backup saved on the site. You can also wipe that information remotely as well. So if we click on wipe, you get different options for stuff that you can wipe from the device remotely. So if the device again has fallen into the wrong hands and you want to wipe your information off there so that nobody can access it, you can check any of these boxes. I would always recommend checking them all personally if the device has gone missing, and then hit backup and wipe, or wipe. So if you know that you've done your most recent backup, you can just hit wipe, but if you're not sure whether the backup's been done or not, and personally I would just do this anyway, you can hit backup and wipe, and that will back up your information and then wipe all of that information from the device remotely so nobody else can access it. Very handy. Now if you are fortunate enough to get your device back after you've performed these different tools, you can restore that information back to your device, or indeed to a new device if you do get a replacement device instead, by clicking on the restore function here. It will give you instructions on what you need to do. So as it says there, on your new device, or again if you do get your old device back, you can install LiveSafe on the new device and then go to backup and then press the restore button on the device itself, and it will restore the information that you've backed up to the device again. So in theory you haven't lost anything, it's all been backed up to McAfee, and you get all that information back or on your new device. Very handy. Now factory reset's the last one on there, so whether you're aware or not of what a factory reset does, basically if you perform a factory reset on a device, or indeed remotely as I'm about to show you here, the idea is that it returns the device back to its out-the-box state. So gets rid of all the apps that have been installed, all the account information on there and everything as well, and basically, like I say, returns it back to a brand new condition. Now the difference is that when you install mobile security on your Android device, you get uninstall protection, which is an option that you can put on. In my personal opinion, it should be set on automatically, but it is an option when you set up the device, and I would strongly recommend that you put it on, because what uninstall protection does is it stops the McAfee app from being uninstalled even with a factory reset. Okay, so the idea is now that if I click on the factory reset button here, everything will be removed from my Android device apart from my McAfee app. Now the reason for that is because if somebody else gets hold of your device and they do access your information on there, they can't go to the settings and factory reset it and lose your McAfee information from there. They will be able to factory reset the whole device, therefore thinking that they have a brand new device, when really the McAfee app is still sat there in the background, so you can still perform any of these features that I've shown you down the left hand side here, because the app will still be activated on the device. So also very handy. Finally, down here you've got the data section as well. So data is very important. Like I said before, the data in my opinion is more important than the device itself. So you can view that data remotely on here as well. Obviously I'm not going to click on any of these, but it gives you the information, your contact information in there, so you'll be able to view all your contacts from that device. Your text messages, as I said before when we talked about the backup and wipe functions, you get your text messages incoming and outgoing, so you can see your full conversations. Also call logs as well, same inbound and outbound calls, and then as I said before as well, from the device you can upload media as well, which is your photos and videos. So you get all of that information that you can view on the web portal, which is also very handy. So that concludes the feature set that's available for mobile security as it stands. As I said before, some of the features will be available for iOS as well, but not all of them. So I'll put another video together showing you what features are indeed available for iOS, but this is what is available currently for an Android platform. Also, there are wearable features, as I mentioned before as well, so I'll do something on that in the near future too. So that concludes my video tutorial on the features that are available for mobile security from Intel Security, and hopefully they will come in handy for yourselves in the future if indeed you were to lose your mobile device or it was to be stolen, and you can hopefully get that back, at least protect your information. Okay, so thanks for your time watching the video, and look out for the future videos. Thank you very much.